Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. That was a lot of fun. I love that intro. It was pretty crazy today, but hey, look, this is the way it goes. It's a crazy day. Battle Royale, folks. Elon Musk versus President Trump. It's quite the move. It's going to be pretty fun to see. We're going to talk about that a little bit during today's live stream at the beginning. Excavator announced. Hey, good to see you, Excavator. Hope you're doing well. Sapper said it's all scripted. Yeah, that is a pretty popular perspective on it, let's say. And I tend to agree. It's all just a bit too convenient. But it definitely puts more pressure. I think Trump wants more pressure on the big beautiful tax bill, and I think Elon does as well. So I think that is there's a lot of truth in that. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. In fact, I'm just quickly checking X here at the moment. I know we're live on X, but it's not showing up yet. So yeah, let's. I wonder why that's not showing up, but that's pretty crazy. All right, let's see. Let's see how we're getting on there. I'm just looking at my X connection. I can't see that. Will appear soon. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. We got like and share, says Hexfad. Definitely like and share. If you're on YouTube, smash the repost button. And of course, if you're on X, definitely hit the share button, right? So get out there and do that. It's quite cold here in New Zealand. We are in winter now. And I've got to be careful. I've got to keep warm and all that. It's raining outside and, usual weathery, winter weathery. It is currently, 12 p.m. 6th of June, Friday. Can you believe it? We're already in Friday. We're at the beginning of time, right? We're at the beginning of time. Yeah, that's right. And Wookiees announced there, let's get this party started, 100%. Hexcavator said a buy opportunity. Certainly is a buy opportunity, that's for sure. So definitely get into, pick yourself up some nice bags with your Fiat Gold there. I'm just looking for the X stream. I can't actually see it. It says it's streaming, but it's not showing up. Weird. It says that you're live. You're live, yeah. I wonder what's going on there. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Anyway, that's it's not showing up. I don't know. I can't even see it. If you see it on X, let me know because I can't see it. It's not showing up. It says it's streaming from the studio. So technology, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Hope everyone's having a good time out there. In any case, and we'll be looking forward to getting that X stream up. It's still not showing. Weird. What is going on here? Let me just, can't see anything. Stop, it says. I'm not going to be stopping anything because, the more you play around with it, the worse it gets. But yeah, it's definitely not showing up on X yet. There's a break in transmission. So, we're going to get into the full show and hopefully have a good time here. Now, I did do a post on X, Tom Cruise, so we're going to talk about that too coming up. So we might as well talk about that actually. Let's go through a couple of the items. Yeah, the X show is just not going through for, I can't see it myself. I want to talk a few things though. So let's jump into it. Wookie's in the bath, can't look, says Wookie. Yeah, I bet you are. He's probably in the bath outside too in winter. That's how crazy he is. He's in the South Island, which is, like fantasy paradise down there. And probably looking, in the bathtub outside with all the foam and then watching it on his iPad or something. That's crazy Wookie for you. All right, so let's get into the show. And of course, here we are, the last 24 hours on my X count. We had the Pulse Chain DeFi Rising Stars. Went pretty good. We're going to do a few little improvements for next time. I think we have a pretty clear view where we want to head with it. So a big shout out to my co-host, Crypto MVS, of course. I think it was a pretty good first session. It's the first time I've used X and also had some mic issues at the beginning, unfortunately. And of course, now that we know all those sort of problems, it should be pretty smooth next time. I thought the teams that got up did a great job. So we had 7 teams. It was only planned on having 5, maybe 6. We ended up with 7. Can you believe it? And I think it went pretty well. And I thought they did a pretty good job. We will make some changes though to make some improvements, and that's coming up as well. So look forward to that. Next one is going to be on the 18th of June. So that could be pretty good. So Wookie says you got it, Super. Yeah, I knew. I thought that's going to be the case. Pretty crazy. That's the life he lives. That's the life he lives. We've got Craig Pittenhouse there, morning all. Definitely scripted and buying opportunities. Craig, yeah, it's just all too easy. But they want to put more pressure on the budget. Yeah. So that's all we can say. 7 in chat, says Wookie. 7 in chat. Nice. All right, so that is going to go there. That is where we are. What else do we have? Solid X from Randy Alasky. Staking is coming soon for Solid X. Now, I told you guys keep a lookout for Solid X. One of these strategies you can do on Pulse Chain is the whale strategy. And Solid X, of course, is Fire Whale. And Randy Alasky, a big influence in the space. they're kind of like BFFs, the BFFs. Let's say staking coming soon. Prepare your bags accordingly. Be the house. So that is coming up, and of course it's going to be a big burning and viral X game. And of course you guys know we're running the X game show. X game show there. I'm still looking at X. I still can't see X coming up here. Let me have a look here. No, X is still not showing up. We'll have to do a refresh. Not sure what happened to transmission there. Let's see what else we got. Also, we had. If you are going to watch the replay, it starts in 11.5 minutes into the DeFi Rising Stars. So definitely do that. It's all because I had that mic issue. It's unfortunate. I just had it switched on the wrong thing after I left Discord, and that set me up for for no mic, unfortunately. What else we got going? We've obviously got the big interview coming up with Prairie Bernard. That is tomorrow, same time. The aliens have landed, the Grays currency, PTC, and UFO, one of the biggest projects on Pulse Chain. And we're going to be meeting, I guess, the alien super brain. We'll say that much. The Prairie Banana, super smart guy. Well, let's call him Pulse Chain's quant. He's our quant, and it's going to be fun to have him on. He's great, absolutely great influencer as well as a super smart guy. So we're looking forward to that. And he got tons of insights into PTC the Gray. Obviously, we're talking about today the battle royale: Elon Musk versus President Trump. And Dogecoin price got smashed, so we're going to check that out soon. It's pretty crazy. And then I posted this about Tom Cruise. I guess everyone has to agree. I mean, come on, this guy here, the last great action movie hero. You probably heard that before, but this latest movie just keeps pushing it and pushing it, pushing it. I guess that's going to lead us. Apparently, there's a bit of a cliffhanger at the end with a big submarine scene, which apparently is so immersive. It's crazy. And we may very well see him. I don't know what happens at the end of the movie, but presumably this is really not the final. Is it final Mission Impossible? Maybe the next one he will be up at the space station or something like that. Where's he going to go now? This kind of thing. He's done everything above land and the ocean. I mean, I guess space is next, right? Space is next. So I'll probably look forward to seeing Tom Cruise do that. The last great action movie hero, and pretty incredible there. So that is pretty much it. If you haven't hit the follow button on X, definitely smash it. We're rebulling again. My old account got shut down, so we're all back on the move as well. All right, so let's jump over to. Actually, before we do that, let's move over to. We're going to go over to. Oh no, I haven't even got it here, but actually, we might leave that. But all I was going to say is that the Monster thread is making new records in readership, so it's gone up many thousands. So it's really being very successful and continue to grow week to week there as the main weekly update on Pulse Chain. So if you haven't checked out the Monster thread, definitely check that out. All right. So that is pretty much that. I still can't see the update there on X. So let's quickly check to see whether it's actually showing. Yeah, see, it's not showing. So there's been somehow the connection between Studio and X is not running, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, that is what's happening. So let's jump over to the Elon Musk story. And let's have a look here. Let's go to the Elon Musk story, and we can actually see that there's a lot of drama, right? So let's kick off with some of the drama that's been going on with Elon Musk. And let's play the Trump-Elon a little video here. This is Trump at the White House with the, I guess that was the German new German Chancellor. So let's check that out.
But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, it became a little bit different. And I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Mr. President, did he? I just want to clarify. Did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy.
All right, so that was a little clip there of Trump today. I mean, there's a longer clip with him talking about Elon there, but I think it's about 3 or 4 minutes long. That's a little clip at the moment. Now, obviously, you know, most of us who are very supportive, of course, of common sense and the direction that Trump and Elon Musk were taking us, generally speaking, you know, obviously some disagreements there because, you know, there are a lot of liberals in this alliance that got Trump into power. But you know, it's is it all planned? That's the thing, right? That's the thing. Craig Pick scripted and buying opportunity, yeah. And who was the other one there? The Sapper there. It's all scripted, yeah. So that's the view I have as well. That it's pretty much a nice little script. It does multiple things at once, right? So it puts the Democrats off Elon to some big degree because now he's you know a pariah out on the isolated. It also helps put pressure on the Senate and the Congress, making a more leaner bill, and it helps Trump along with his outcome. And it also deals with the Epstein files, which Trump was obviously, I think, on the flight books at one stage. So it helps a lot with that as well. Obviously, that's been delayed out of many of the releases. So we are expecting that to come out, but that is definitely, you know, it focuses the attention back onto the Epstein files. So when they do release them, I guess it's going to have a great reveal. Now, obviously, not everyone in the Epstein files will be guilty of particular actions, but there's a chance that there's some pretty big famous people will be guilty of some sort of crime, if not moral outrage. So we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out in the future. So a bit of a gameplay going on. It seems the most likely outcome to me because it's all just too easy, right? All just too easy. Yeah, the one thing is I would say about that video is that, you know, Elon definitely didn't, you know, he didn't care about the electric car mandates. I mean, he's been saying this for years. So that was definitely a porky right there from Trump. But, you know, Trump uses porkies to, you know, obviously as a political game, just like everyone else. It's pretty hard when you're in politics not to do that. And Trump's obviously does one of his things that he does with that. And of course, Elon Musk, of course, protesting about that. We got an NJ and House there, a DOGE versus Trump meme coin war is going to be cool. Yeah, that is a good point. Really good point. Yeah, that is so true. All right, so let's check it out. This is some of the comments from Elon Musk on his thread. So he's got lots of cool things. You know, Senator Mike Lee just announced he's drafting an amendment which could deem members in Congress ineligible for re-election if the deficit is more than 3% of GDP, things like that. So yeah, remember the deficit at the moment is running around $2 trillion for the federal deficit, and the total debt's around 37 trillion plus, or 36.9, I think it is at the moment, trillion, and the trade deficit is about 1.2 trillion. So those are those three numbers, your headline numbers, and of course Trump's dealing with the trade deficit with the reorganization of trade deals, which we're expecting some very soon. And if it's not this week, then definitely next week, it would seem. And we saw positive stuff today from Trump around the talk with China, right before the German premier, China, they had the talks, and everything was back online. And so they got the in principle deal with China has been agreed again, as Trump would say. And so they're going to put it into black and white so that everything is clear. So that is a big move. I said to you, China really doesn't have that much room to move because it is cascade failure. They're already in trouble on the economy and leadership, you know, play between the military and President Xi and things. So they need things to be stable again, regardless or not whether Xi wants to go to invade Taiwan and cause a regional/global war. That's a different thing, I guess, that they could trigger. Presumably they're going to trigger it later if they do it. During Trump's period, probably a bad idea. But if they manage to get a weak president, then that would be a better opportunity for them. But we shall see whether they try and do it before 2027. Can be pretty interesting. But America, of course, is bolstering their military to $1 trillion. Remember, China's about 350, but they have all the shipbuilding capacity, which is an advantage. Massive. I mean, we're talking. There's no even comparison. How much? You know, I think that China has as much shipping tonnage in 1 year as America has done since World War II. So that just shows you how dramatic it is in in China with the civil, commercial, and military ship production, because a lot of the commercial ship production is military rated, right? So a lot of the ferries and ships or something are rated for military use, which is very, take tanks and heavy things like that. So it's a pretty different environment. So we shall see where all that heads. But so far, it looks pretty good on the China front. So yeah, obviously Elon's been saying for years about dealing with the debt. I mean, Trump's agreed all these. Trump has agreement of all these, and quite trying to get to the Congress and the House to also put more pressure on it. So we've got the Babylon Bee says Congress warns failure to pass spending bill might delay construction of the country. That is true. That is true. So let's see how it all goes. So obviously lots of stuff happening around the DOGE, getting expenses out. Now, the one thing, of course, with the big bill and its deficits, it doesn't include, tariff accumulation income. And of course, it doesn't also really take into account very well, I would say, because there's uncertainty in it, is the growth that Trump's going to have in the golden age of America, which will eventually increase federal revenue, even though it shrinks it potentially in the short term. So we'll see where all that lands. So yeah, my interest in electric cars, solar was not environmentally driven. So Elon's positions on a lot of things. So this is kind of the stuff that Elon's been talking about, and I just want to get to one of these. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair, which is true, right? That's true too. You got the petrol stuff is all supported, and there is the debt at the moment, right? 36.9 trillion US debt. That is the elephant in the room. And of course, Trump did say in that video, I'm very disappointed with Elon. I've helped him a lot. He knew the inner workings of the bill better than anybody sitting here. He goes, false. The bill was never shown to me even once, and it was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. And that would be true. That'd be true. I don't doubt that at all. So there we go. Andy Ogles there said that definitely need more cuts and thinning out, and some DOGE rescissions and EO codifications. So they're trying to make it permanent, right? All the cost cuts. But then Andy Ogles, of course, voted for the bill. You know how it rolls in good old Washington. There's Trump, of course. Where's this guy? And Trump there has got all these different things about balancing the budget and all that sort of stuff. Which Secretary Bezin has talked about eventually getting to balanced budget by the end of Trump's term. So here is a lot more pressure to try and get it earlier than later. Obviously, if you get really huge economic growth, you could probably get there, and that's the whole goal, right? Is that growth, but you've got to get the costs out too. So yeah, we'll see. I think it's all a bit of a ploy. Obviously, it's all just too convenient to all this to happen. So. And what's a few playful words amongst friends, right? What's a few playful words amongst friends? All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment. The big ugly bill increase the deficit to $2.5 trillion, and we have a $2 trillion deficit. Half of the deficit, of course, is interest payments, which we've talked about many times on this channel. It is just unfortunate, but that is it's just ridiculous too. I think China's share of that's about 30 to 40 billion, based on numbers I've seen. So it gives you an idea of how many things are going. This is obviously flashbacks to 2013. You got can't believe Republicans are extending the debt dealing. I am Republican. I'm embarrassed. Wise words. So obviously, where's this man who wrote these words? So they're obviously got a bit of goading there. So we'll see how it all goes. But that is some of the stuff that's coming from Elon around all the debts and having a lot of the people in the Senate like Thune. And of course, Mike Johnson as well, and back in 2023, and of course 2020, talking about getting the budget right, and dealing with that big deficit. So yeah, less spending, not more spending, and so on. So there's a lot of tit for tat amongst Elon and on his thread, as you can see. And that's kind of where we are there. Yeah, 1992 Trump party with Jeffrey Epstein. This was the big show, right? It was the big thing that he pulled out on Trump. So that's some of the stuff there. And of course, actually, I think we might have bypassed a little bit on that Epstein thing, so we might come back down to that. I think that wasn't too far down. Time to drop the real big bomb. It was 5 hours ago. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. So that was a bit of a grind. So that would probably be the one most precious on the idea that this is all coordinated, because that's kind of a blow. But I think it's something that Trump could easily take. So I think Musk's post for the future, the truth will come out. Now, like I say, even if you're on the Epstein files, doesn't mean that you're guilty or anything. Although there will be a lot of guilty people on it. That's probably the way to think about it. So that is from Elon Musk. And that brings us into, I guess, the stock market results. So we're going to check that out for Thursday. Stock market results for Thursday. And say hello to everybody. All right, so don't forget to get in the chat as well and let your comments be known. So we had the S&P 500 dragged down by Tesla slump amid Trump-Musk fallout. So there we go, S&P 500 dragged down, and the media loving that, I guess. The Democrats will be loving it. Dow Jones down 0.25% to 108 points, down to 42,319. S&P 500 down 0.5%, 31 points to 5,939. And the NASDAQ with all tech companies is down 0.83%. 162 points to 19,300 pretty much. US dollar sitting at 98.63. It's going to be interesting to see the US dollar, how that progresses moving forward over the next month or two. And then commodities, there we've got West Texas at $63, down 0.25%. Brent oil down 65 at $65 is down slightly as well. So this is a big win. Trump is winning with these oil cuts. This is going to be major for the US economy and major for inflation moving forward. So as a big win. Now we looked at Jerome Powell yesterday. He's definitely playing political games here on behalf of the Democrats. And so, that's not hurting just Trump, but it's hurting the American people with having elevated interest rates. They should be probably down to at least 3.5% on the federal funds rate. So we'll see how that goes. We've got gold at the moment, $3,385, up $10, and silver there, $35.89. And so, if you're holding gold or silver, man, I really think that we're going to get some really nice rally on these. So look forward to that. They're both doing pretty well at the moment. All right, let's get into a bit of the commentary. Obviously, there's a bit about Tesla slumps as Musk-Trump spat intensifies. Tesla fell more than 40% as the fallout from Trump and Musk intensified. Trump said he was very disappointed with Elon Musk following Tesla's CEO's criticism of Trump's big, beautiful bill. In response, Musk hit back saying, "Without me, Trump would have lost." So it was all pretty nasty stuff. Musk, Trump, political tied up. It all just seemed like too coordinated, doesn't it? These guys were, Elon was flying with them everywhere, back and forward. So this does all look just a bit too convenient, doesn't it? The news on Trump is such an old story about nothing, says Wookie. Yeah, that's true. Right, so let's see what else. We know he's a bit of a party boy back in the day, but the stuff that they were doing in Epstein Island is pretty sour. So I doubt that he was getting involved with that. He likes his woman, but I don't know if he's degenerate like the others. Or at least back then, right? When Trump and Xi have a positive call on trade. That was very positive, right? 90-minute phone call. And of course, Trump described it as very good. And they've got mutual invitation to state visits. So that's a very positive seal of approval onto the trade deal, by the way, having that state visit. So very, very cool there. Nothing was discussed concerning Russia or Ukraine or Iran, he wrote. Jobless claims, however, increased last week. And it looks like we had claims climbing to 247,000 for the week end of May 31st, representing an increase from the revised 239,000 per week and above the expected 236. The 4-week moving average, which aims to account for volatility in the weekly data, came in at 235,000, rising from the previous 230. This release also added a series of reports released this week that points to a cooling of the labour market as companies grapple with uncertainty around Trump's tariffs. This is what they always write on the liberal media. That's all they got left. An account from management services company ADP found U.S. private employers added fewer jobs than anticipated in May, while job openings grew in April, although layoffs increased, potentially indicating some softening in demand for workers. These numbers largely serve as a precursor to Friday's all-important monthly payroll, non-farm payroll report. So that's coming out tomorrow. We won't be covering it here because we're going to have Prairie Renana with PGC and UFO tomorrow, but that is happening tomorrow, which is predicted to show the US added 130,000 jobs. So we get good results there that will help the market recover. So keep a lookout for that. And that is pretty much it. Let's see. That's pretty much, I think, on that stuff. European central bank slash interest rates. So this is what I mean. The Fed's mucking around. It's definitely a Democrat ploy. keeping interest rates high, which punishes all of Americans. It's crazy, but this is what the Democrats are like, right? They don't care about the American people. They only care about power and control and money. That's it. That's it. All right, so that is pretty much it on the stock market. That's getting us into crypto. And we've got Dogecoin, which we're going to lead with. So Dogecoin, they're down 9.2% at the moment. And you can see, let's have a look at the 7 days. And you can see that, woohoo, this is the Trump spat here. Look at that. Got sold off big time, 18.9 cents. And then got all the way down to 17 cents here at the moment. So 9.2% decrease there on the old Doge. But let's have a look at the overall. We're at $3.279 trillion on the crypto market cap, down a whopping 5.6%. We have been watching it go down a couple percent every day, haven't we? It's pretty much where we've been. And let's have a look at Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin is at $101,394. We're still above that 100K. Pretty important to defend the 100K. I think we can all agree there. We're down 3.3% at the moment. Michael Saylor would say that we're in the third innings, that we're over 100,000. So let's hear from him, shall we? This is from Michael Saylor, and I think this is back in December, if I remember rightly. Let's play this.
There'll be a drop or a significant drop that comes along. Have we moved past that because of the regulatory changes that have taken place?
I think it'll remain volatile because it's a 24/7, 365 global asset. You can panic sell it on Saturday night. You can enthusiastically buy it on Sunday morning. That's a feature. That's not a bug.
Yeah, you've lived through some of the swings, but do you think we won't see the downturns like we've seen in the past just because of the changes we've seen?
I think it's going to surge through the roof, and then it's going to surge to 180 and crash to 140, and people will be freaking out about it again. But let me make this one analogy. Volatility is like fire, and some people run away from the fire, but Henry Ford put the fire into a carriage via an engine, created an entire industry, and he gave humanity wings.
Can we talk about, so I've been leading up to for me and for everybody to understand your tweet just from, I think, in the last hour. So what did you do last week with the Treasury operations? You were able to generate a Bitcoin yield of 2.55%, or over almost 10,000 Bitcoin to shareholders using an arbitrage. Can you explain?
So that was a little clip from him. I think it was back in December, this one, but he someone reposted this on the 31st of May. But he was basically expecting, Bitcoin to hit 180 and then potentially drop back to 140, which we are expecting that sort of move to happen in the future. We've been looking at the billionaire Raoul Paul video, and of course that definitely could be a zone that we get a big pullback. Now, interesting enough, yesterday we saw Rack & Michelle, the big whale on Pulse Chain, put out a price call for the top of the Bitcoin market this cycle at about 168,000, if I remember rightly. So, interesting different price calls. I think Richard was talking about 242, 44,000, somewhere in that ballpark for the top of the Bitcoin market. I'm definitely over the 200K market. I don't think we're just going to do a 3x. I definitely think we're probably going to do something closer to like a 5x or something in the old Bitcoin. So that definitely gets us up to, the 250 range. So we'll see where that heads. Now, we also had Fundstrat manager Mike Lee from December as well post his call for 2025. And I still think that that's largely intact. We go through this volatility. We're about to hit the main part of, the early part of the ramp up, I guess, is the way I'd look at it. Expecting a lot of trade deals to come, and that probably starts to kick it off and eventually get this big tax bill through before the 4th of July. That's really the key part there.
Tom, it just brings me back to you, the idea that how much of what we're seeing, maybe even a little bit today, is there's been such a regulatory overhang on a lot of these names under the current administration. Now you have a new FTC chairperson. Is that playing a role in any respect to this? Because Dan Ives put out a note today, said Christmas comes early with the new head of the FTC for tech.
It's probably the best way to sort of measure this is what Bitcoin's doing, because Bitcoin faced enormous regulatory burdens over the last few years, and now we have a White House that's embracing digital assets, a new SEC chairman, FTC chairman, a new Commerce Secretary. I think these are actually being viewed as business reviving animal spirits, but I think a good proxy is watching Bitcoin.
All right, now I'm going to have to pin you to a target again on Bitcoin, because, I mean, you've been among the most optimistic and outspoken about it for years, to be quite honest. So here we are, above 100,000. What's a legit target for 2025 for Bitcoin?
We think it's going to follow a similar halving cycle that we've seen in the past. That would imply something around 250,000 for Bitcoin in 2025. And on top of that, we have a Trump put, because Bitcoin is potentially a strategic reserve asset for the U.S. government.
So I love that. It's a 250K, and I really do feel like that's where we're going to be heading for this Bitcoin cycle. And Tom Lee was the only one out of the main analysts to call the S&P 500 correctly. Now, he doesn't always get everything correct, but I think last year he was the only one to get the S&P 500 correct out of all the analysts, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, he's pretty good. Not perfect like anybody, but his Bitcoin call I think is pretty good as well. And the timing with the Bitcoin halving, and of course Trump as a put, and I think that was pretty cool. And I think we'll see more of that play out, even though we've had the announcement. It was a little bit underwhelming. I think we will potentially see some budget neutral boosting to the Bitcoin reserve, and definitely the altcoin stockpile, as well as all the other related stuff that Trump family's doing. We looked at yesterday the ETF that Trump family's doing out of Truth Social, and of course we see a lot of platforms investing in Bitcoin like Rumble, as Michael Saylor was saying. So I don't know if we saw that part in the video, but later on he's got that in the video about Rumble and stuff like that, buying Bitcoin. But everybody basically is going to be buying Bitcoin. It's pretty much everyone is on the bench ready to buy. So it's going to be a lot of fun when it starts to take off. The FOMO will begin, and we're looking forward to that FOMO part, the banana bar of the market, right? So that's kind of cool on that one. And yeah, I'm pretty excited where that is. So let me just quickly check that. That is pretty much it. So let's get into the rest of the markets. We've got Ethereum at the moment down 7.7%, $2,409. XRP at number 4 down 5.2% at $2.09. BNB at number 5 down 5%, $631. Solana down 5.8%, $144. Tron at number 8 is up 2.2%. So Tron has been doing particularly well lately. That is up 2.2% and at 28 cents. Dogecoin there is at 9.3%, and that is at 17 cents. It's the big loser today. And then Cardano there, ADA, is down 6.4% at 62 cents at the moment. So those are top 10. And Tron has moved up 2 spots, can you believe it? And Dogecoin and Cardano have gone down. So Tron there is finally making a bit of a move. Now, the best performer in the last week has been Tron, up 2.6%. Everything else is down, and Dogecoin is down 20.8%, almost 21% on Dogecoin. That is the worst performer, and of course getting hit with the spat. The other ones that are down, of course, Solana down 13.4%, and Cardano, ADA, is down 13.6%. So those are down pretty heavy as well. And let's have a look at our sister blockchain, or a brother blockchain, you decide. We've got Ethereum there, is up down 8.4%. Most of it today, though, 7.6%. Today on Ethereum at $2,409. So we're miles away from the Magic Carpet Ride Pulse Chain Strategic Reserve of $3,775. So that part of the game plan is going to take some time. So yeah, pretty interesting. All right, so let's have a look at the top gainers over the whole 100, top 100 at the moment, or top losers, let's say. Top gainers at the moment, Hyperliquid. This thing keeps performing, up 7.9% for the week, down 4% today though. Sky is up 5.8%. It's the first time I've seen that there. Kronos is up 3.8%. Tron is up by 2.6 out of the top 10. And that is pretty much it as the leaders there. Where's our other leader that we had? Oh, it's disappeared. So it's gone much further down. But that's where we are at the moment. Top gainers overall on CoinGecko. Polymath up 143%. And we got Lagrange there up 100%. What's all the math ones, eh? Lagrange and Multiply. Do you guys remember that? And Polymath. Those are both up 101%. So it looks like the math projects are doing pretty well. And then we got a bit of Vice. I don't know if this is Miami Vice or what, but it's up 46%. Those are your top gainers at the moment. Trending is Vice. Electronium is trending. What? And Go Home. Okay, that's that. We've got to talk about Electronium, right? Okay, so let's go down to PDI. No, not PDI. Where are we going down? We're going down to Pi Network. Pi Network. Where are you going, Pi Network? Actually, I'm out of order now, aren't I? I'm out of order. Let's go to Pi Network and have a look at that. Before we do that, let's have a look at the worst performance. We don't often do that, but Virtual Protocols, which has been pumping lately, is down 26.6%. So it's not like in the news at all. That's pretty interesting. Okay, well, there might be some real buying opportunities right there because that's a pretty heavyweight protocol. Ethena there is down 23% and Bonk is down 22%. So there's some really nice pickup opportunities in here. Probably Bonk and yeah, neither of these are probably fairly good pickups after the sell-off. So if you got some fresh capital, let's have a quick look at the top ranking here. We're going to look for Pi Network. As you guys may recall, if you're back in 2018, 2019, like Randy Alasky was, he was referring Pi Network, did pretty well. Now he did pretty well, but there's people that did even way better than that with tons and tons of referrals on there. It's a terrible system. Like honestly, it's solely anti-crypto, anti-DeFi. It is a slave master. It makes you have to tap on the phone every single day. People haven't got their coins for like 6-7 years. It is crazy. 6 years, let's say. It is crazy stuff. But hey, look, there's tens of millions potentially that may use it, and so we'll see where it goes. At the moment, it is down 13.2%, down 4.4. It's sitting at rank number 33. Arguably, the market cap is false because most of the coins are locked up. So if you re-rated this, the market cap probably be closer to maybe 1.5 billion or something. That's just top of my head, and that would still keep it in the top 100, more or less. But yeah, it would be way down here. Not way down that far down, but where would it be? Maybe somewhere around number 71, 72, but it's sitting at number 33 at the moment. And that was one of the two big phone minings. Back 2018, 2019, these phone apps came out with mining crypto on your phones. It was kind of novel and the people were keen on it. But they've taken years and years and years to get even to close to actually building out the ecosystem and all sorts of stuff. It was, the path to value is pretty crap, really, to be honest. And Pi Network is terrible. I mean, the people running it terrible. The whole setup's terrible. The KYC is terrible. Everything's bad about it. They are setting up a peer-to-peer business, and all that sort of stuff. So there will be people that will do well out of it. Yeah, it's pretty much that. So, but the funny thing is that Electroneum was the other big phone app, right? The only big phone mining app, and it's all the way down here at number 928. So Pi Network's at like 33. This is at 928. And this was out of the UK. Had a very smart CEO, but obviously not wise because he's had a terrible road to value. I don't even know if he's still running the show, to be honest. But look at that chart. That is Electroneum there. Also, another mine on that, right? Now, they did do a peer-to-peer job site. I can't remember what you call those things now, micro jobs or whatever it's called. But they did do that. But man, their path to value was terrible. And then they kept on doing these blockchain upgrades, right? And man, they hardly gave any new benefits. Just living in La La Land, I don't know what they're thinking. Just living in dreamland, man. It was just such a bad. I don't know how you can be so intelligent, and he isn't a very intelligent guy, and just be so stupid at the same time. But there's tons of people out there like that, so I guess not surprising. I don't know why they just don't go after the low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit's good. It doesn't have to create some new genius idea. Low-hanging fruit is perfectly fine. And you can see where the price was at the beginning. This is all way back in 2018. But yeah, there's nothing happening there. So Electroneum, look at the market cap, 29.6 million. That's being generous, I think. That's being generous. Let's have a quick look at the website and see what that looks like at the moment. That is the website there at the moment on Electroneum. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether they're ever going to be able to get themselves, into value. Let's say. So we'll see. What else they got on here? Yeah, I think that's about it at the moment. Let's look at the about page. They've changed the website a lot. That's definitely changed a lot. Yeah. Here's the founder, Richard Els. Super smart guy, very charismatic, from the UK. But man, just a terrible roadmap, terrible strategy. He ran a couple other moderately successful businesses. That's pretty much how I think he kept funding the thing. And it was a digital agency, Site Wizard and Retortal. So he had some modest success with the digital agency and social media. But man, he's been absolute train wreck for the ETN network. What a disaster! What a disaster! I have to talk about that because it's just a shame. There's a lost opportunity, right? And man, he could have really made a juggernaut. So yeah, that's pretty much where it is at the moment. Ethereum 2.0 is a next generation EVM compatible layer 1 chain with legacy accessibility, but man, just absolute fail. Absolute fail. I cannot say it enough. So you got to be careful. What is the lesson there? You have to be careful. You have to really do your due diligence. Can't be lazy with crypto. You have to do your study. You have to find out what actually drives value. yeah, that was a big fail. But it looks like Pi Network has come out the winner out of those two, right? Sitting at and Pi Network's way worse because at least Electroneum is largely more crypto DeFi driven, right? It's more with the ethos of crypto, whereas Pi Network is particularly brutal, and it's just like it's almost made like it was designed by the Democrats for enslavement. But hey, look, that's what it does. So anyway, moving on from that, we are digressing too much on that one. And now I just want to talk about Doge, of course. Is the Doge website, and it's got lots of little doggies on it, and it's not too bad website, I guess. And you can see where I stole the cover from today, and it got hit today, particularly by the Elon Musk feud at the moment. Now that's going to move us into, I guess, Pulse Chain. Have you guys heard of Pulse Chain before? That's where we're going at the moment. So day 756 since Pulse Chain launched on the 13th of May, 2023. And we have Pulse Chain getting hit quite hard today as well, which means it's a good day to pick up some nice cryptos. And who said that really well down the bottom there? Craig Pitt, scripted and definitely a buying opportunity. Yeah, it does appear to be the case. But look where Pulse is at the moment, sitting at just above 3,000 and just below 3,100 at the moment. So 4 zeros, 3,000. And we're down 6.5% at the moment. So if you've got some fresh fiat, man, what a beautiful place to get some Pulse. Of course, Pulse is like the ocean. All the other tokens on Pulse Chain are like ships on the ocean. So when Pulse goes down, all the value of those other tokens go down in US dollars as well. So that's been pretty interesting. PulseX at the moment is at 0.002680. That's down 6% as well. The buy and burn 1.42 trillion. 7.19% of the total supply has now been bought up and burned. Now, I just want to put buy and burns in context here. It is very good because it buys and burns, and presumably when we move into the bull market for Pulse Chain, which will come eventually, we will burn a lot more volume of Pulse. But of course, the price of gas is going to go up. Price of assets will go up, right? So it's going to be pretty interesting to see whether we can get that growth, the X growth in burning. We could see the burning actually accelerate, so that could be pretty interesting, depending on volumes. Now we're expecting a lot of more volume. Obviously, we've got all these bridges connecting into Pulse Chain now. We've obviously got Liberty from Base and Arbitrum. BSC, I think, as well. We've got, that's coming over the Pulse Chain. We've obviously got, Ramp now in full swing, ramping up. So going from 1,000 euros to 3,000 euros. And of course, that's, bridging ETH over to Pulse Chain using that mechanism, buying Pulse and buying, Richard Hart tokens and, of course, Sol token. We got obviously Banksa. Hopefully, will be on Ramp. Maybe next week is Banksa might be back on. They had to deal with their pricing source, which they're using CoinGecko for some crazy reason. Don't know why they thought that. That was a real, rookie mistake, I think, rather than routing through. Maybe they had a problem with getting the connect, the deals right. But Ramp now was pretty smart getting on with Patius, right? That was the place to go, and so that's all worked out. And then we got two more on ramps coming from the Sol Sun and Mini Mill corporate as well. So that's coming, maybe the next month, this month in June. And we haven't heard much about that. The third one, and then the fourth one in Q4 or Q3 actually. We're expecting. So you've got a lot more money coming over the bridge. Coast to Cause, so also obviously a direct fiat on ramp, and then we've got the official bridge as well, and then a couple of little miscellaneous bridges here and there. All right, or at least swap mechanisms, at least anyway, cross-chain swap mechanisms, like Pulse LN, for example. We got that in play. We got Hex at the moment. Instead token $1.44, down 1.8%. We've got Hex at the moment at just over 0.6 of a penny, down 5.5% there, and EHEX at 1,800 of a penny. Combined price EX and PX just below 0.8 of a penny at 0.79 of a penny. That's kind of where we are with those tokens. So a red day and really testing the next range. We have fallen basically two ranges instead of climbing. We got rejected at 4,200. You remember that for Pulse? And we've been down two ranges since then. We broke 3,500, and here we are just above 3,000. So two ranges we've dropped. Look, we're going to check that out on the chart, but that is pretty brutal. Let's have a look at the gas prices. Brutal, but great for buying. Right? Great for buying. We're at 3 million beats at the moment, 3 cents for a PulseX swap. And at the moment, we've got validators at the moment, 50,594. So it's gone down a little bit. I think we're at 5,700, somewhere in that mark, 800. The bridge at the moment is sitting at, let's have a look here, the bridge. It's not refreshing. 89.1. So we're down, what about $3 million on the bridge value. We've obviously been going down about over $500,000 on the DAI over the last couple of days, that is. We're definitely down the ETH, about 150 ETH from memory. I think we were at 72.44 yesterday. In fact, I've got a snapshot here from the other day. Let me open that up. What day was this? This was the 3rd, and what we're on now, the 6th. So yeah, we were up on the 3rd. So this is 3 days ago or so. We're at 21.9 million DAI. We're now at 21.55. ETH was at 71.74, but although I think we got up to 72.44, I think it was. We're at 7100 now. EHEX is obviously down. We're down from 17.6 million down to 16.2 million. USDC is up, actually. USDC is up over the last 3 or 4 days from 16 million to 16.2 million. And that is probably a function of the ramp now, right? Bringing USDC. So that is pretty cool. So that is kind of neat. And we've seen those Sol token pairs with USDC. So that's probably what's driving that. So that's what I'm talking about. New capital, new bridges. This is very bullish, right? Very bullish. So it's pretty positive. Coast is pretty much the same. And USD Tether is only down maybe, what's that, 313, probably about 15, no, maybe 17, 18,000. So it's not too bad. And wrap Bitcoin there, of course, going down with the price of Bitcoin. Otherwise, the Bitcoin number is pretty much the same, 27. So that's kind of where we are there. We've got some more comments. We've got Tortoise Johnny in the house there, TJ. Trump Zilla in the house. Yeah, Trump Zilla. The news on Trump is old story about nothing. It is indeed. Right, so yeah, we're supposed to be streaming to X today, but somehow the connection wasn't made properly. It says it's made on my studio, but that is not happening there, so there's no reposting today. That is pretty much it. Let's jump into the total the total volume, I should say, on Pulse Chain. So we're sitting at 15.1 million on Pulse Chain in volume, so it's a lot better than yesterday. Remember, we had the big Remember token from OG WebChef earlier in the week, driving huge volumes through cycling through that pair, and it was up to 80% of volume. We got to something like $60-70 million, maybe even we got to 80 possibly. But now yesterday we were at 9.9 million yesterday, and I think we're at 15 now. So we're definitely up from yesterday, almost 50%. But of course we're on the down, right? We're on the down with that volume. Transactions, 24 hours, 230,000. I think that's up about 30 to 50,000 from yesterday. And we got a new token here. 13 hours ago, we got a new token. This is on Kill Bill, Kill Big Beautiful Bill, and it's up 35,000% there. And hey, look, there's probably a pump tires, is my guess. It's got a website for some reason, so I don't know who put that up. Maybe someone launched this. Unleash the power, conquer the big beautiful bill. Another one of these short-term pumps, right? Pretty much. This probably won't last too long, but it's interesting. And it's been pumped at the moment, so not financial advice, as you guys know. I'm just covering the markets, no endorsements in particular. We had 414. Of course, this was from Cabal King. He was in our Pulse Chain DeFi Rising Stars X Space, our first one yesterday, and gave a great coverage of that. That is being doing pretty well, up 25% over the last 24 hours. So even against the market being down, is performing very well. Let's have a quick look at that. 414 from Cabal King. And we can see, it's been driving up over the last wee hours, which is pretty cool. Let's see there. Yeah, up overnight, it's been driving up there, so not bad. Let's look at the 4-hourly chart on this. There's the 4-hourly chart, and so it's got higher lows in it. Can it print out a lot higher high? That would be the question. And get over 1 cent. It got to 1.1 cent back here briefly. So can it do that? It's currently at 4,500 of a penny. If it can do that, that's a pretty nice little gain sitting there. If it can manage to push higher. Let's have a look at should we pull the RSI and see what sort of momentum that's got? And yeah, it's got plenty of room to move on the RSI. They're just humming around the 50. So we shall see where that goes. But that is it at the moment. 90% of the supply is being burned. They have a 10% tax, so you got to remember that. And so that plus slippage on top, right? So you got 2% PDI yield, 2% teddy bear yield. So PDI is popular, of course, teddy bear as well, and T-bill yield there. So really tied into that James Maria ecosystem. 2% TAY yield. 1% Treasury bill burn, and a 1% self burn there as well in the mechanisms. So that is pretty much it on the 414, and that is Cabal King's latest So you can check that out. That is number 2. GoPulse, of course, had a bit of drama about their token. So you guys can decide where that's going. TJ says, when we finally moon, the only thing you'll think is I should have bought more. That is true. That is true, TJ. Very, very good alpha drop there. In fact, that's worthy of a magical thing. All right. Now you can't really say anything while that magical twinkle's on, but that was worthy. All right. So you got the Gelato's been around for 6 months. It's up 3%. Pump tires on the move there, up 2.3% at 1.6 cents. Now, isn't it Fun Tires? I think it's got some big capital raise or something happening on the old Fun Tires. So I don't know. We're going to get something like that for Pump Tires since Fun Tires having a big day with I think it's some sort of institutional raise or something thereabouts. Staked ETH at the moment, 2%. Missor OG WebChef leading the way there. So we do have one OG WebChef printer, Missor there at 1.2%. Let's have a look at that price, see what that looks like at the moment. Obviously, you got to go through the volatility. These printer tokens are risky, right? They are risky. Obviously, if you get in the beginning, look, you would have made some nice yield in here. So really volumes count. So really, they have very low volumes at the beginning, but you can see on the daily when the volumes came in, when they turn the volumes up, or whatever volume mechanism they're turning on, they ramp up the cycling, and the volumes really peak out there. And of course, everyone FOMOs in for those yields. How long did that yield last for? I mean, let's think about that. We might take it from the beginning here. We take it through the year. So if you got in the beginning, it'd be like 111 days. So you probably would have been you'd be way up, right? Because if the price is pretty similar the last 11 days when the volume's on, then you would be earning all that sweet high yield potentially. I'm not sure what it is at the moment, but that could have been pretty productive. But once again, you've got the price volatility, and we have seen some of the printer token prices get absolutely hammered. So you remember that. So they are risky business, but they have been a popular risky investment to try and get some of those high daily yields. But it's tricky stuff. It can be tricky. You got to be in the Telegram group all the time. That's all I can say. We've got DOGE token at the moment. It's been around for 4 months. Pump tires up 0.5%. And the ink dollar there from Fast Abdul. Apparently he likes tech a lot, and that is he used to like bribes. Now he likes tech. Which I much prefer. I much prefer liking tech. That's up 30% at the moment for ink printed dollar. And of course, I guess that's going to be a beneficiary of Coast. Coast is bringing their new product to market, right? So that's got to be good. That's going to benefit the liquidity forks apparently. So presumably, ink dollar is also going to get that benefit. Of course, this liquidity fork being backed by ink token itself. So if we quick look at that from ink printer, you can see it's sort of humming around about $1. Pretty low volumes on the mix. I can't wait for a PUSD ALGO, but I don't know. Come on, Jacob, let's get it happening. Either Fetch Oracle or Signum Oracle. Let's get the old PUSD. It is the flagship, dude. It's going to be bigger than Mafia and bigger than what's the other one? On-chain bet. Both of them fantastic products. But PUSD ALGO is going to be the flagship. It is the killer product. So look forward to that sooner than later. That's all I can say. All right, so let's have a quick look at some of the rest. All the rest of them are pretty much down, but let's have a look at Sol Sunamil, which has been a pretty good performer recently. Now it's got 2 pairs. The new pair is USDC. That's only still at 13 cents. It's still holding up pretty well. Obviously, it's got all that buying coming in from Europe. Now the big ones, of course, is SolidX, and we talked about that with Randy Alasky, his post right earlier in the show. And we've got SolidX at $9.25. So a nice little pullback here. RSI is down at 36. Maybe that's the tip of the day. Is SolidX. Yeah, boy. We've got that announced there. What am I screaming for? Let's use the horn. That was damn loud. All right. So we're sitting at $9.23, and the RSI is, it's obviously not down to 30, but it's looking pretty good at 37. And look, we could have news any week now coming out from this. Will they get the casino license? X game launching. Of course, Randy Alasky posting. We could have SolidX staking as well. That is coming soon. So, keep a lookout for SolidX. That is the tip of the day. Brought to you by Randy Alasky. Don't tell him I said that because I'll get in trouble. But it is, all jokes aside, it's looking pretty bullish. You got to get into that. And of course, there are not only this one here will get the benefit of the burning through all the revenue, multi-chain too. But also you've got the pump tires, like X Game, obviously, and the other two, Firewall, wasn't it? Was it up here? It was up here yesterday. And the other one, of course, is the pump tires version of SolidX as well. So that is pretty crazy. So yeah, we're going to see how that all goes. We've got lots of popular tokens down here. Sparta, Gas Money, all in the negative today. Surf Token, which is Crypto Paradise. Big shout out to the team because I really like that team. They're really open-minded. They're really doing a lot of collaborations with some other significant teams, Top Hat, Emmett Farms, etc. And they're really just willing to get on to any show, and I really like that. So big shout out to them. Nick Hellman and Amaru and the rest of them. Is a very cool ethos. So very, very nice. All right, so what else we got there? Remember Token, of course. I don't know if we've got the other one here. But that is something that was doing all the volume the other day. Let's have a look down here. I'm just looking down here at we've got Teddy and Most Wanted, Finfire, PGC, The Greys. We're going to be obviously interviewing the superstar from there, Perry Banana. That is tomorrow. You cannot miss that stream. That is a mega stream with Perry Banana. Super smart guy and great presentator. What a fantastic rep for PGC, The Greys UFO, which we consider, one of the blue chips on Pulse Chain, right outside the Richard Hart core coins. So expecting some pretty cool stuff there. We can see here the chart at the moment. Before we lead up there, it's currently 0002600. It's got big supporters like Moon King and others that support it. A lot of wide support actually amongst influencers. So it is one of the more active communities as well in social media. So we'll keep a lookout for that as well. I just realized I lost that, but let me get this one here. And I got the wrong one again. How did I do that? 2 times in a row. And, it's sort of like holding that support right now. So I guess if it can bounce from here, it could be a pretty good buy. I mean, we're down at 44.575 on the RSI on the weekly. On the daily, we're down here as well at 35 on this down day, pretty much around the support line on that mega uptrend on the weekly. So it could be a pretty nice entry here on the old PDC, the Greys. I think they have a 5% tax, I think, but we're going to find out more from Perry Bernard tomorrow. So that is going to be a major interview, I think, because that project is pretty serious, and we're looking forward to cool stuff there. Now, someone was talking about Trump Token. We got Trump Token down here. We've got who's talked about that earlier. NJ says Doge versus Trump or Doge versus Trump. Yeah, meme war there. Well, this is the Trump Token on Pulse Chain. It's a pump tires. The RSI is down pretty low, 31. Could be a nice little entry here. Did manage to get down to 1100 at 1300 at the moment of a penny. So that could be a nice little pickup there. That's on the daily too. Have we got Anita in the house there? Big shout out to Anita. Hope you're doing well. We've got a Black Diamond too. I haven't seen. Where's the Black Diamond guy? We've seen the founder. He's such a great guy. And that was the first 721 NFT contract, wasn't it? No, 1155 contract actually it was. So the first 1155 NFT contract on Pulse Chain, and that was the Black Diamond collection. In fact, we should probably check that up as well. Now, should I talk about it? Should I? Well, we've got big stuff coming out from Nexian and Psycho, the founder there. And of course, was it Leaf, I think it is, the developer. They have got something magnificent coming for NFTs. It may be the very thing that puts the fuel under the fire for the NFTs on Pulse Chain, which need a bit of love, don't they? They need a little bit of love. Now, we are in that bull market psychology. We also, Pulse Chain does seem to be dominated by people people love DeFi, but they love printer tokens, they love meme coins, they love reflection tokens. The same seems to be the zone, and of course, NFTs are not quite getting the love they deserve. So, what is the solution for that? Well, it seems to be make NFTs, give them more GameFi, but particularly give them a DeFi. So we're going to see, that NFT-fi coming to Pulse Chain. Let's put it that way, NFT-fi, because it may be another name, but we're going to NFT-fi there. And Nexian could be coming out with an absolute game changer for NFTs, and this would affect all NFTs in existence that are on Pulse Chain. So that could be massive. They're currently testing it now. So that's a bit of another alpha drop today. That's another alpha drop. If you didn't know about that, you know about it now. So pretty cool. Yep, we've got to get excited about that. All right, I'm playing around with the buttons here, but hey, look, it's got to get excited because that is a bit of an alpha drop today. Nexian is coming out. Not only are they coming out with the Glow product, which I think is going to be great for leverage. That's going to be our second main platform with leverage after Famous, and it's going to be extensive for Pulse Chain communities. But also we see we're going to see this NFT application, and it could be an absolute huge game changer for the NFTs. We've got to show some love to those 721s and 1155s, right? I'm not sure if that includes the 404 contracts, but we've got to show some love out there, right? We've got to show some love to that. That could be a whole new boom, getting NFTs with DeFi. Honestly, it would make a lot of people want to make NFTs because you can do DeFi with it, and that could be huge, right? So keep a lookout for that. That could be a real boom coming up, and you heard it here on the Kryptonite Show. All right, bro. So look forward to that. All right, so there we go. That is where we are. We're an hour. What are we doing for time? An hour and 1 minute, so we're not too bad. Now let's jump back. Oh, got to get out of here. I almost logged out of the studio for accidentally. Let's go back to the Kryptonite Show there. And I think we covered quite a few of the tokens that are out there. Now, if you guys haven't followed on X, definitely follow. The links are in the video description. The one thing, of course, if you are a team out there and you are wanting to get on the next X space, it is on the 18th of June. Either hit Crypto MVS up or myself, and we're taking bookings right now. We've already got one booking and potentially 4 or 5 other projects interested already. So you've got to get in quick. That's all I can say. Get in there quick there on the next X Space, the Pulse Chain DeFi Rising Stars. We're going to do some changes and upgrades for that session as well. Our first session was pretty good, but we can even do better. And I think by the next time we'll have a pretty exciting space. The first one was very successful, but we got a few things to change and have them up and running. So yeah, it was my first X Space, running my own first X Space. So it was pretty interesting. So I got familiar with it now though. It's nothing like fire to get you on the right track. The other thing, of course, is the Monster Thread, our first main publication, MVS Crypt promotional lead editor-in-chief there. And that is going up and away. This is our 4th week that we've been in currently. And man, it has done pretty amazing. Over 16,000. In fact, it's probably even higher than that now, probably up to 17,000, 18,000 views on that. And that's becoming really the main weekly publication for the big news over the last week on Pulse Chain, something that everybody can digest and new people can learn. But it's actually really good for everybody in Pulse Chain because it covers all parts of the Pulse Chain community, parts that you don't even aware of. If you're in some of the big projects, you wouldn't even be aware of the small, medium projects. You wouldn't be aware of some of the artwork. It was lots of stuff, and it's all packed in here. We had some pretty exciting stuff in this one, and man, it's just going up and away there. And look, I mean, we've got our lovely there, positive Wild SJ in there at the Bitcoin conference. I mean, it's pretty awesome. There's everybody in there: Internet Money, Hex Scout, OG Web Chef, Degena's artwork. Now, if you haven't seen out Degena, absolutely amazing artwork. Look at that in the Pulse Chain community. So, there's really some of the news out there is pretty spectacular, and we've got some incredible artists here. I mean, let's have a look at Degena's site here just to give you a clue. We've got a lot of great, women in our community doing some pretty awesome stuff that a lot of people may not even have known. She's doing some incredible work out here with her artwork. So, pretty awesome stuff. And she's got her website up and running as well. So you can definitely check that out. So pretty cool place to be. And that is Degena. And she's got a website. Let's go look at her website while we're here, actually. A big shout out to Degena out there. And we can see, I guess, a mural wall of it. Look at all that art there. I mean, it looks very cool. Almost some of it Picasso-like as well. But she's got lots of different type of artwork in there. So big shout out to Jenna. Very cool. So that's some cool stuff happening there, and you can see that all in the Monster Thread, right? So kind of cool. Now we have got the weekly week number 5 Monster Thread coming up on Sunday, and that's week 5. And of course, this is becoming a mainstay in the Pulse Chain community. You can definitely, if you want to, if you're a project team, you want to get in on that, hit us up, either MVS Crypto or myself. And of course, if you've got a really cool story that you think's really good over the last week, has to be since last Sunday. Then you let us know, and that may very well make it into the Monster Thread. So definitely hit us up on that one as well. All right, I think that's kind of where we are up to at the moment. And of course, if you haven't followed on the socials, all the links are in the video description. If you haven't joined our strategy club, definitely join up to that, because the strategy club, we got a little major announcement there. Looks like hot off the press, do we? Major announcement from Coast. All deposits via Old Glory Bank are now free. Woohoo! So if you're on Coast, that is fantastic. Let's see them. Great work. And what's that covered? covered on a live show. Live show just now. All right, so that's fantastic news from the Coast team. So big shout out to that. I'm going to repost that. That is very, very awesome indeed. So great work there. So we're just getting more and more good stuff happening over in the Pulse chain, right? You got to be excited about that. All right, so let's jump to a bigger view here, shall we? And let's end the show here with the cool bullish things, because I want you guys to get really excited about where we're heading here. We've got two big things happening, of course. We've got the bull market cycle really is very, very close for the beginning of the banana ramp up. And that's going to be a long lasting one in my view, certainly through to Q1, Q2, when we get all these trade deals coming up, potentially this weekend or next week. We know that several of the big ones are ready for President Trump's signature, so they'll just be trying to stage all that stuff. And they've also got the big tax bill going through. All has to be in place by the 4th of July, which is what less than a month away now. As we're on the countdown for that. That is a big, big deal. We've also saw the M2 monetary supply at all record time highs. So that's very bullish for money flushing around. The only thing really holding is that Federal Reserve chairman playing politics with the US people and the interest rates, all to get Trump and make Trump not look as good as he could. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But I think it's exciting times ahead there. Diamond Hands in the house there. Hey, appreciate that, Diamond Hands. Big shout out to you. Hopefully we'll get our X connection working tomorrow. It, some reason didn't feed through. So if you're on X, we unfortunately didn't follow through today. We'll see where that just reconnects next time. Technology is a funny thing, isn't it? All right, so let's play out some bullish stuff on the way out. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Catch you again tomorrow for the big show with Prairie Banana PDC. The UFO aliens have landed, and it's going to be a lot of fun to have him on the show. And he's going to share some pretty big alpha, so you don't want to miss that. That is pretty exciting. So if you're excited about those projects, hit us up tomorrow. That's going to be pretty cool. All right, take care, everybody, and bye for now. Enjoy the last couple of videos on the way out. Bull market is ahead of us. Bullish, bullish, bullish. And, of course, we saw, Tom Lee and Michael Saylor give pretty bullish numbers between 180 and 250 for the cycle. And I'm pretty bullish about it too. Rich Hart somewhere in about the 240 mark. Bring it on. And, of course, Racker Michelle yesterday down at the 168. So that gives a pretty interesting range, 168 to 250K. For Bitcoin predictions from those four different people. Fun times ahead. But let's hear from billionaire Raoul Pal and his pretty excellent analysis, although he made a bit of poor judgment there about the Sioux chain, but who knew? Well, he broke the diversification portfolio rule. That's probably the truth of it. All right, I hope you guys enjoy. Catch you guys tomorrow, and enjoy.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle. Nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase one of the banana zone, banana number one. The corrective zone, banana number two comes. Another correction, banana number three. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment. because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.